water pollution that occurs when water, typically stormwater, picks up and carries many substances with it as it flows, with its destination being bodies of water such as lakes, rivers, and the ocean. Paved surfaces can cause up to 45% more runoffs than undeveloped surfaces or surfaces with vegetation growing. This is because paved surfaces such as roads, driveways, and parking lots are impermeable enough for water to flow more easily without being absorbed. Runoff carries a large variety of pollutants into the ocean, such as but not limited to trash, animal waste, agricultural pesticides, and fertilizers, oil, and grease. Over 80% of ocean pollution comes from land-based pollutants. One of the biggest sources of ocean pollution is non-point source pollution, which is a direct result of runoff. Runoff also has a significant effect on us here locally. In 2022, the Environment Texas Research and Policy Center released their Safe for Swimming report, which showed that many beaches in Corpus Christi were unsafe for swimming due to large amounts of harmful bacteria. They believed that one of the main sources for their spike in bacteria was due to runoff and sewage overflows. Once runoff makes its way into the ocean, it can have severe effects on many marine organisms, particularly coral reefs. Chemical toxins, sediments, and nutrients that enter the ocean through runoff can impede coral growth and reproduction, and in turn disrupt overall ecological functions. Runoff also can cause diseases for coral and other species through pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, and protozoa. Runoff from storms changes ocean chemistry, threatening many marine ecosystems, especially coral reefs. Nutrient runoffs on land accelerates the process of ocean acidification. Nutrient pollution happens when fertilizers containing large amounts of nitrogen and phosphorus is carried by runoff into waterways. When an excess of these elements make their way to the ocean, they cause rapid algae growth, known as algal blooms. Algal blooms can smother coral reefs, limit access to sunlight, and consume a large amount of oxygen, which kills many organisms. This lack of oxygen and increased carbon dioxide levels causes ocean acidification, which negatively affects the rate at which coral generates calcium carbonate, slowing the growth of coral skeletons. The loss of coral reefs would have extreme consequences. Coral reefs are important organisms to the biosphere, providing a quarter of marine life with habitats. So as coral reefs die, so do sources of food and shelter for other marine organisms. Coral reefs are thought to have the highest biodiversity of all ecosystems, only rivaled by tropical rainforests. 1 billion people across the world rely on coral reefs for their source of food and income. Their destruction would affect these people's livelihoods and source of food. The lack of coral reefs would affect us locally too. Coral reefs act as a barrier for our shoreline against the impact of waves, storms, and floods. They help to reduce the erosion effect of storms and large waves by dissipating as much as 97% of incident wave energy. The beach along the North Padre Island seawall has also been significantly narrowed because of erosion from storms. This damage could have been greatly reduced by the help of coral reefs. A big help that anyone can do for coral reefs is to minimize the use of fertilizers. Fertilizers contain nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus, which can harm coral reefs through nutrient pollution if they end up in the ocean. Conserving water is another easy yet effective way to help corals. The less water that people use, the less runoff water and wastewater will make its way back to the ocean. The use of rain gardens near the ocean allows for the filtration of runoff and the possibility of adding a drainage system to move towards bioretention.